Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now this is What If Deku had an ice quirk called Jack Frost, part 15. Now before we begin our episode off, um, this is a rare occurrence where story wise this would make sense to give him all. Give me a second here if I remember the correct phrase for it. It's one for all. Okay, so it makes sense because of the whole dynamic I have going on between Izuku and Diablo. Because I already have plans for him to get all for one's quirk. So sorry guys. He basically is all for one successor now, so he's going to be a major threat in the near future. And I'm giving Izuku a like a ultimate finisher move. I'm gonna call this I'm using this move when you guys but a really interesting move. I like it. It's really cool. And this move would be work well as it will explain why he's so powerful with this one move because of the getting all my quirk. So he's able to sorry. He's able to create a ice domain about 50 yards. Instead of I got this suggestion from one of my, one of you guys. Instead of calling it Ice Wonderland, I'm gonna call it Icy Wonderland because I don't know it doesn't like roll off the back of your tongue. Ice Wonderland, yeah. But oh, I'm gonna go with Icy for the name. It's ice reference, so it's all good. So now when he releases Icy Wonderland, he has full control of the 50 yards range of the attack. So he's able to make objects in it like really easy and a lot all at once. So when he when he activates that part of his quirk, things are gonna go downhill pretty fast for a lot of people. I don't know if if he's gonna use it in a sports festival or not, but that would be interesting. And I'm gonna give him this because I want him to have now he's able to extend his domain to highest it's 50 yards. So he's able to control how big his domain's going to be. The max is 50 yards, so he can make it smaller, bigger, as long as it doesn't go past 50 yards. So that way I could have him using it in the sports festival and all that stuff. Now, Izuku will only use that quirk to sorry. He will only use that quirk to enchant his quirk. He won't use the all for one itself. But he will learn how to use it. That's a given. But I'm mostly going to use it to increase his original quirk capabilities, and I'm not going to use any of the manga content into this, so I'm not using what's in the manga, how what the quirk does to someone when they're not originally quirkless. So I'm not going to get into that. Maybe I'll start adding that into my what ifs later in the sorry, at a later date. But yeah, it's not going to be in this what if. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, then you kept that was manga. So I just saw a couple of videos. I haven't been reading the manga. I know I should. I need to. I'll probably do that eventually. But yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube videos on all that manga stuff. So I was like, huh, Yeah, guess it kind of works. So whatever. And I think your your name on the comment is Danny Sun. Thank you for the the move suggestion. Yeah, I could speak. So thank you for the suggestion. And if I like the idea, I'll normally put your guys' suggestions in my what if. This is not the first time I've done something like this, so if you're new here, expect things like that to happen occasionally in my stories. If I like really dig the idea and if in my head I think it makes sense, then I'll usually put it in. As long as it's like super OP that like breaks my decus even further than I already break them. So we're already we wasted about 6 minutes now of me rambling on about certain things. So let's get on to our what if. As Ezekiel walks through his room, as he just left the scene where he was walking with Shota and Momo, as they went to go upstairs to talk. As Ezekiel's in his room, taking out profiles of people in UA, especially people from Class 1B, as he's just searching about their quirks and everything. So yeah, he's doing prep work for the sports festival as he picked up the file Shinzo. As he huh, interesting. If he kept up with his training on hand to hand, hand to hand, and plus with that quirk, he would be a very deadly hero or a deadly threat. Either way you look at it, it's a pretty decent quirk. Judging if he's not in class 1A, he must have not had worked on his physical. He's most likely didn't even hasn't had a fight in his life. Such disappointment. As Izuku's phone rings. Hello, nephew. Hope I'm not bothering you. No, Aunt, what is it? I need to talk to you about something. What about? I need to talk to you about All Might. Izuku's like, what do you want to talk about All Might? He's getting he's getting there in age. He's not going to be around forever. Has All Might there? Don't worry, Izuku. This line is secured. Has he offered his quirk to you? As Izuku's like, yeah, he mentioned it to me before, but I denied it because I wanted to work on my own power, not rely on someone else's. I need you to reconsider, Izuku. What do you mean? What is this about? After I found out that his quirk is able to pass on, we can't allow that kind of quirk in the hands of someone that can't properly use it. You don't have to use it yourself. I've been told it will it will in, it will increase your power in your original quirk even without using it. And if down the line you find someone better, but for now you're the best that we got and we need to keep such power in the control of the sorry, give me a second here. We need to keep a quirk like that in the HSTF. Imagine someone with imagine the sorry, imagine the carnage someone will bring upon this world with that much power. That quirk itself is a the threat level is I think All Might's like a city threat. I don't know, like let's just say he's a city threat. That quirk is a city threat, Izuku. Fine. I'll accept to be his successor. Tell him, tell All Might I agree upon it. Tell him we'll talk about this more tomorrow. Very well, Izuku. I know you don't want to do this, but it warms my heart that you would overlook your personal feelings for for the HT sorry HS I totally forgot HSTF. I just gotta get used to saying that. So in the future, what that is the Hero Suppress Task Force. I just took each of the letters and roll them together. I've seen it in my comments before, so I'm trying to get used to it because saying Hero Suppress Task Force constantly it's kind of it's irritating. So as you think, it's fine, Aunt. If this is what you if you think this is the best choice, then I'll comply. Thank you, nephew. Now you have a good night's sleep, and I'll catch you in a few days. As she hangs up, now the sports festival is like in a couple weeks because of the USJ. They're going to learn about the sports festival first thing in the morning to tomorrow because they're going to be called into class. So that's how I'm gonna work that in there. So as Ezekiel continues to do what he was doing prior to the phone call, as he gets a knock on the door, who is it? The door's unlocked. Come in. As Momo and Shota comes in, as they close the door, Ezekiel, we need to talk. As Ezekiel's, okay, what's up? I know we told you to decide who you want to pick between us, but we change our minds. As Izuku looks at her like curious, like, okay, please continue. As he doesn't know what to take, but that change your mind aspect. He doesn't know what they're thinking. As she's like, so we decided we're not going to make you choose. We're going to share you. As Izuku's like, and you're okay with that, Momo? As it crossed my mind, but I figured it would be too outrageous of a suggestion, so I never brought it up. As Momo walks over to Izuku, as she puts her finger on his mouth, and she's like, "No talking." And for your question, Izuku, I have no problem sharing with Momo. After all, we're best friends, so it's only natural we share the same boyfriend. As she picks him up with his collar from her from his collar as she drags him as she tosses him on the bed as Momo walks over to the door, locks it as they begin to undress Izuku as they disrobe as Momo and Shotas looks at Izuku says like, don't worry, you'll enjoy this. As we do a time skip because I don't really get into the much, I don't go into 18 plus material. That's as close as I'll get. So yeah, that's not my I'm really stoned, but I'm surprised I went that far. So with it, but yeah, I don't really go into going into detail in that. As we do a time skip the next morning, as you have Izuku in bed with Momo latched onto him on the right and Shota latch on him on the left. As they both wake up, as they go over there to kiss, well, they lean over to kiss Izuku. As Momo was like, as Momo and Shoto were very what's the word? satisfied from the midnight sparring they had. The Yeah, I'm not going to say that. That's yeah, I'm not going to. I'm stoned, but I'm not that stoned. So let's continue our story. As they get up, as they they get dressed, as Momo and Shota entice Izuku the whole time. As they walk out the door, as both of them are lunging onto his arms. As they get to the classroom, as you have Izawa, All Might was with them. All right, kid. All right, class. I know you're officially not supposed to, be here, but thanks for coming. I forgot to mention, the sports festival is approaching. The sports festival is mostly meant to display your abilities to the pros and to get an internship to one of the agencies. I can't speak for some reason, but that's me, not Azawa, by the way. So some reason I just can't form words correctly today. But let's continue on. And it was going to be a 2 week thing, but we're giving you a month. We're going to give you a month to prepare. To Yeah, I'm changing that, by the way. So we'll let you guys know. We're gonna. Sorry, let's try this again. We're giving you a month to prepare for the sports festival, and after the USJ incident, the school decided it would be best to push back the sports festival a little bit later. Now, it won't interfere with some small pause in the story. Everything will go off like normal. The different events. I'm just saying they gave it like a month off or whatever. I'm not sure if the time frame's right. I really don't care because I'm too stoned to care right now. So let's continue. As this class goes off, as all my young Midoriya, I would like to have a word with you. As Momo and Shota look at him, it's like, don't worry, girls, I'll be back. As everyone noticed, they're being extremely more friendly towards Izuku than they normally are. So, Mina figured, knows right away what, they took her advice, judging by the physical contact they're constantly on Izuku since they walked into the classroom. As they get to a small office in the school, as he closed the door, it's like, I'm glad you agreed upon, accepting to be my successor, young Midoriya. I was quite shocked that you agreed. I normally Was there no anyone else that you found acceptable? No, unfortunately not, young Midori. You were always my first choice. Not I wanted me to have Mirio for a successor, but the boy's quirk would be very difficult to retrain. But with you, you're always constantly training your quirk. You've never stopped ever once to stop training your ability to to harness your craft and use it in your future hero career that you're aiming to acquire. And with your HSTF work you do outside of everything else, you're you're you've you're the only choice, young Midoriya. Your work ethics, given at first you were a little rambunctious, a little trickster, but you grew into a fine young man. As Izuku, so when do we start? Immediately. Meet me here in about an hour. Meet me here in about 2 hours at Dagobah Beach. As they leave, as Izuku begins his harsh training with All Might, as All Might had him to see where he's at physically. So as All Might's like very make good progress. You won't have to work much on your body figure to accept my quirk. Are you Ezekiel knows how the quirk works, and from the intel that his aunt got from All Might, are judging from sorry, considering your aunt is your superior, I guess you already know how my quirk works. Affirm, All Might. I know all of the drawbacks and activity and how it functions. I'm well aware of how the quirk functions. Only it would be quite intriguing to see if I could make what I know in reality. Well, in practice. She's like, very well. And he's like, I want you to clean this beach up. I want you to clean this beach to see about. Let's give you 3 weeks, as he does it in 2. As interesting. Well, sorry. He a short pause as he told him to eat this. Wait, oh no, would he do that? No, okay. Sorry. Forget I mentioned that because that would make no sense. But as he continues the beach, as he did it cleaned up in 2 weeks. I don't know if the beach was ready clean already, but if it did, my bad. It was dirty, or they re-dirty it because people are douches. So All Might was impressed by his progress, as he's like, eat this. As he's like, what the? As he's like, seriously, couldn't we do a blood transfusion? As All Might's like, nope, no, I hate needles. As he laughs, as he's like, kid, just eat the hair, man. As he's like, that's in his inner thoughts. As he's like, he's fine. Oh, better not get anything from this. As he's like, All Might's like, I'm wounded. As he eats it, as he said, give it 24 hours, and we'll test it out. We'll test it out. As Izuku gets home, Momo and Shoto are waiting for him in the front of his door room. As they drag him inside, as they spend time together. As we cut the next morning, as Izuku gets up, well, he's already in there. He's at the beach early. He beat All Might there. Izuku's on military time. So, yeah, he's, very punctual when it comes to being on schedule. If you interrupt his schedule, it never ends well for you, unless you're like Momo or Shota. Beyond that, yeah, you're dead. He froze so there was someone new in the job, and that secretary learned better to, be better at his job. Cause Izuku froze him. So, not all the way, but to from the bottom, from the neck. So yeah. He's not gonna straight up murk, someone from the HSTF. HSTF, yeah, okay. As he just enjoys, as he closes his eyes, as he just listening to the waves back and forth, as he noticed, his ice has extremely increased in power and capabilities. He knows it. He doesn't want to. The bracelet is helping him extremely. What Melissa's shield made, it even with the output of his newfound power from his quirk because of All Might. Of think it was one for all. Increase his quirk so much, but the bracelets was easily able to adapt to the new power flow in his body, as it regulates his temperature, as it trains it, and what I said in the last part, he's able to use higher grade, higher skilled, higher more advanced skills with his quirk with the braces on, so he doesn't have to take them off for any of his attacks, even with his ultimate. That he has, he's he's going to come up with an idea, or he'll like do it by accident one time, and while he's training for the sports festival. So as All Might finally comes, I'm just like, "You're late, All Might." Yeah, I had here. I had some stop a bank robber, trying to rob a bank of all places, this early in the morning. God, these villains. They have no consideration for us heroes. As All Might is bitching about that. So, All Might, how do you use your this quirk? As you just clench your, cheeks, and as he does his explanation, as he's like, no, not doing that. No way in hell. Instead of doing that, I'll just spread it around my whole body and not stockpile it in one area like a fucking idiot. As Ezekiel, throws about, I don't know what to give him per percentage. I mean, damn. I mean, I could totally give him one to, he could definitely pull off 40-50%. Because he's always been well built. He's been military background, well, military family, then plus his time at the Hero Suppressed Task Force, HQ. He's been well trained. So thinking he could do like 60-50% it's easy. So let's say he could do he could go 50%, no trouble, but about 65 he starts to get discomfort. And 70 he'll break a bone. So that's how his percentage works. He's trained around 60, 70 he'll break a limb if he wants to use it, the quirk. But he won't have that problem because he's not a dumbass. As he does a smash, as the ocean parts, as All Might's like, impressive, Midoriya, how you feel? How you feeling? I'm fine. As, let's say that punch was about 20%. As he's like, I was only using a fraction of his power. As All Might's like, you're able to regulate? You're able to regulate it? All for one? And she's like, yeah. I have to regulate my quirk on a daily basis, so regulate your quirk was fairly easy. I just had to figure out the best way to regulate it at its peak performance. All Might gets a devilish grin as he stands in the middle of the sand. Young Midoriya, fight me, as I want to see how far you have come with my quirk. As All Might charges, as they charge each other, as they throw in blows, as all you like there's shockwaves going around on the beach, as sand's going everywhere, as both of them jump backwards, as they both go into a charge, as they clash fists, as they're moving they're moving pretty fast, as Midoriya kicks him aside the head, as All Might's like, huh, didn't expect you to kick me, as Ezekiel's like, come on, All Might, I can't believe you haven't figured it out. Your patterns are quite readable. If you threw some kicks in there, maybe you wouldn't have got that energy you got on your left side or right side. As he's like, he's like, yeah, actually, it's a good point. I might have been not too injured if I, upgraded my fighting style. But for now, Midoriya, time to get serious. As Izuku's getting blitzed, as All Might's moving pretty fast, as he's just punching him as he passes him, as he's just going back and forth super fast, as all Izuku sees is a blur, as he's getting hit pretty hard, as Izuku gets, pushed back a little bit, as Izuku's getting pissed off, as Izuku, his eyes glow a bright, glowing blue color, as he's like, enough, as suddenly everything freezes, as two hands come forming up, grabbing All Might, slamming him to the ground. Two ice hands throws him to the ground. As Izuku's, as All Might sees the range of whatever this is, as he sees, I forget what they're called, seagulls flying out of the air, frozen, as it's 50 yards length and height. So yeah, he has a pretty good range, and so happened there were seagulls flying in that area, in his domain, as they fall frozen. Suzuki's breathing heavy, as what the hell was that? As All Might, grins. I don't know what that is, young Midoriya, but I think we need to work on that. As Izuku's like, what? You are my successor, Midoriya. I'm not going to leave my successor when he develops a new skill in his quirk. I would be a shitty teacher if I, bailed on you. As that's giving shit to all, original All Might, because he totally be my successor, then you're on your own. I don't give a shit. You do you. I'll just do what I do. It's like, if he's supposed to be his successor, I figured All Might would give him a little more attention than what he did in canon. It's just, I just thought that was funny. He's like, All Might's exactly almost as All Might is almost like Asashi, but only difference is All Might didn't leave Izuku. He just, doesn't train him properly. And not very good either. As during this time, he spent his nights with Momo and Shota every night. During the day, he trained with All Might, learning his new ability. During this month's training, he has learned full cowling, but it's like a I don't know what I do. Give me a second here, guys. Oh, I was trying to think of a good color for the full cowling for Izuku. So it's going to be like a silverish white color. So it's basically like silver lightning, silverish white lightning. As we cut one day during the break, I got to get this in because I didn't do the Monoma Shinzo, shit talk to Class 1A because, I got to give that little bastard, some attention. No, he's not a bad character at all, the guy. But in future whatevers, I'll think of something better for them. But for now, they're going to fuck with someone they shouldn't fuck with, so. As Izuku is with, the girls at the cafeteria, as, they're eating. Yes, everyone's, so there's dorm systems, but, they're able to walk around the school freely. They just can't leave. Who stays in the dorm, they can't leave. They have to be on campus all the time because of the USJ attack. So basically all the students are in the dorm, so no one really doesn't use it, everyone uses the dorm system, so no one, stays home with, their parents or their own apartment because, it makes sense because, it's a college, so they don't have to pay for anything, so they're all good. As, Monoma and Shinzo come walking over to, Izuku. What do you want, Monoma? As he doesn't, Shinzo's in the back. Monoma is going to be his, douchey self. And it's like, well, look, it's that 1A star. And that HSTF agent that goes to our school. The one most likely got in only through handouts. Highly doubt you even earn your place here, white hair boy. Better yet, Casper. As Monoma gets starts calling him Casper now. With his pale skin, with his, the whole ice motif he got going on for himself over here. I only came down here to tell you, class 1A freaks are going down. We're gonna take you down to the sports festival. As he's like yawns. Oh. You hear that, girls? What, Izuku? I keep hearing bullshit. Mono, what did you say? You heard me, you little copy freak, or whatever how you go about, copying other people's powers. I mean, given, it'd be useful. It's a shame that its user's a complete idiot. As Monoma was about to rush over there, as Shinzo's like, come on, Monoma, let's go. I really don't want to be here right now. Come on, Shinzo. You're as pissed off as we are. As I am. I really don't care, man. Yeah, this Shinzo doesn't really give a shit, really. As Kendo comes and whacks Monoma back of the head with something. Sorry about him. Apparently, I can't leave you for 1 second, Monoma. As she drags him by his ear. As he's like, ow, 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 ow. As Shinzo's like, sorry about him. He's an ass. As, no problem, Shinzo. As he's like, but sorry guys, let me give me a second here. Izuku jumps up real fast as he throws a kick right at Shinzo's side of his head, as Shinzo blocks it. As Izuku, looks as they're staring at each other, as Izuku has a devilish grin. He actually smiles. As Momo and Shota solves that. Shinzo. You definitely don't belong in Class 1B. You're Class 1A material. Think UA made a mistake on your account. With your quirk, how it works, you would be amazing in if the hero work doesn't work out for you, Shinzo, you definitely would have a place in the HSTF. If you ever want to get into that line of work, as Izuku gives him a card, call that number. Tell him Izuku Midoriya. No, sorry. Tell him Jack Frost gave you the number. As he's like, thanks, I guess. How much training have you had? Martial arts wise. As he's like, ever since the Ice Maiden saved me. With my quirk, I was constantly looked down upon. People see my quirk as villainous because of how it works. And considering you're well informed, apparently. Yes, it's my job to keep track of unique quirks, and yours is the most unique here out of all of them, except for a couple few. As he looks at Shota and Momo. As they smile, as he goes back to, talking with Shinjo. As Shinjo's, like, as he's like, so are those you? Is that one of your girlfriends? As no, they're both my girlfriends. Apparently, my lovely girlfriends don't want to share, so they kind of chose for me. But anyways, we're getting off topic, man. I expect great things from you at the sports festival. I expect to see you in the. I expect to see you when we go one on one, if fate decides that for us. Like I was saying, Izuku, after that, I told her what my quirk was, and she didn't she didn't say my quirk was venomous. She said it was powerful, but I need to work on. Sorry. I also need to work on my body and learn techniques when I can't use my quirk, cause how it works. Yeah, dear mother is always like that. He's like, what? You tell me you're the son? Yeah, I'm Izuku Midoriya, the son of the Ice Empress and the Ice Emperor, and the youngest sibling of Kennedy. As he's like, Kennedy. No, you don't mean the big four. Yeah, it's the big, it was, because of Kennedy's involvement, they're the big four instead of the big three. Yeah, that's my older sister. A bit of a glory hog, if you ask me. Oh, and Shinzo, before we leave, before we we depart, if you ever need any hero items, I suggest you go to the sport class and talk to either Mei Hasme, or if you want some really top tier e- equipment, ask Melissa Shield. There's no guarantee she'll help you, but she makes very well made e- um hero support items. As he shakes his bracelet around, as it's this is one of her work, and Shinzo looks at it as like, what does it do exactly? Well, consider how I know your quirk. I'll give you a bone. You're a laid back guy. I like you, so I'll tell you. These bracelets regulate my temperature as my quirk. Sorry, the temperature from my quirk. As you can already tell by my hair color and my eyes, as ice forms in his hand. Ice, of course. It helps me regulate. Able to use with these braces, I'm able to use certain techniques without having to take them off. Stuff like that. I made sure if I can't eliminate a weakness, I'll work around it somehow. I expect to see you at the sports festival, Shinso. Girls, as they get up, as they wrap their arms around Izuku, as they walk off, as Izuku gives the hand gesture, as he, two fingers up in the air, like see you later. As we're gonna stop it there. Next part, we'll actually get into the sports festival. I wasn't sure how I was gonna do this episode. I originally was gonna put like straight up go one scene, then go straight into sports festival. But because I'm adding All Might's quirk into Izuku's arsenal, I have to make backstory and touch some things on dialogue wise. So it's yeah, my bad. Next up, next Thursday or Friday, we'll definitely get into sports festival this time because there's nowhere else to take the story but the sports festival. So the next part will be the sports festival. I don't know if the full episode will be in that part, but I usually the sports puzzle usually takes me 2 parts to do. So I haven't able to, crunch the sports puzzle into 1 part because it by storytelling wise, it seemed like I would rush it. So I like to spread it out into 2 separate episodes. Well, who knows? If I have enough time in the one take and do the whole thing, then I'll do it. But if not, I'm not going to worry about it. So catch you guys later. Bye.